Welcome back to CFB Nation. I'm your host, Nino Brown. Today we got a very special, exclusive interview with Carter Bradley, South Alabama Jaguars quarterback. How are we doing this afternoon?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. Like I said earlier, I know you're a busy guy, so I appreciate you doing the interview with us.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm going to hit you with a couple rapid-fire questions, ease into it, and then we'll talk some football.
Awesome.
What's the number one track in the headphones right now for you?
Ooh, I'm listening to a lot of George Strait right now, just because of the summertime vibes. That and some Morgan Wallen.
I'm a big Morgan fan. I love him. I think he's great.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All-time favorite snack?
Ooh, all-time favorite snack. It's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Cheez-Its. You can't beat Cheez-Its.
All right, I like that one. You're right. And you can't lose with that one. That's classic. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Gladiator.
All right. I love that one. You can't go wrong with that one either. That in 300, kind of like,
Yeah. Yep.
Top athlete, non-football.
Top athlete, non-football. Gosh, let's go with Kobe Bryant.
Okay. All right. Black Mamba, legend.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite kicks? What's the number one kicks? You go to any store, scoop a pair of sneakers. Which ones you rocking with?
Gosh, see, I'm very simple. I just throw on like Hey Dudes. I slide them on. They're very simple to me. When I was growing up, I was mostly barefoot outside, running around, fishing ponds. So I'd probably pick some Hey Dudes up.
Hey, you know what's crazy is my wife's been trying to get me on the Hey Dudes, and I'm looking at the patents. That's simple, kind of sweet and comfortable.
They're comfortable, very comfortable.
I'm a fan, so Hey Dudes out there, go get them.
There you go.
All right, last one. Breakfast cereal 101. You can only have one more bowl of cereal. What are you rocking with?
Oh, Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, all right. I can mess with that. Let's talk some football. You grew up in Florida. You played high school football at Providence High School. What's a highlight memory for you in high school?
Highlight memory in high school. Probably just, my freshman year, my first start, just being on that field for the first time, never really been in that type of environment. We had a close student section to the sideline. So just kind of the atmosphere, first Friday night light game, just one of the experiences that I'll never forget.
Okay. All right. Friday night late, first time. I that'll stick in your brain for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know you probably get this a lot, but I got to ask it. Your father, Gus Bradley, has been coaching in the NFL since 2006 with the Bucks and other teams. What was it like growing up at home with NFL coach?
Football 24/7. I love it, though. But it's awesome because, got football 365, 24/7, never a moment away from the game. So I just kind of grew into it. Mm-hmm. Growing up, always knew I wanted to play, but I always try to pick his mind here and there. I think he kind of gets tired of it when February and March roll around when the season's over with. But he's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable teacher, so I can't thank him enough as a coach and as a dad.
You mentioned just always being around football, 365 your whole life. When did you know that you fell in love with the game of football?
That's a hard question, to answer because I feel like I had a ball in my hand in these baby pictures when my mom has them around the house. So I feel like, I always had a ball in my hand growing up, fell in love with it. I'd have to say when we moved to Tampa, Florida, I played for the new Tampa Patriots, just throwing a football around and even watching, Jeff Garcia at training camp when the Bucks were in Disney World or Disneyland doing their deal there. Just, watching ball every day, throwing it around as a young kid. I fell in love with it, and I didn't want to do anything else.
All right. We're going to go back a little bit, before we come to South Alabama. You had many offers from schools, Ole Miss, Syracuse, FAU, East Carolina. The list goes on. But you ultimately choose Toledo. What was that decision process like early on in your career?
I looked at the experience some of the guys had there, like Logan Woodside. I saw deep depth in the position of the receiver room. I loved, Jason Candle and what he was doing with the offense. So I thought it was a great fit for me. I was coming off of an ACL injury. They stuck with me through the whole thing. I thought it was unbelievable by them. So thought it was the right fit. Ended up, not being the right fit. But tremendously happy with the decision because of what I've learned from there. I can't thank that coaching staff enough and the people I met. So I think it was just part of the journey. I grew and with life and in the football game a lot. So, me going to Toledo, it was, one of the things that I can't, look back on and say that I regret it because I think I learned a lot from it.
I'm a avid believer in everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Not doing where you at right now. You played 21 games with Toledo. You amassed about 2,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. With your time at Toledo, what was it like with the QB battles with Dequan Finn, and how did you grow from that?
It was a little bit different because, he could run it really well. It was kind of in a weird position with the offense because we could do two different things. I feel like I could throw it a little bit better. He could run it a whole lot better than me, which is not a surprise. But, he challenged me every day with that athletic aspect, and, he could make plays that I couldn't. So it was a constant battle at, how could I elevate my game in certain ways, but ultimately, how could I make DQ better in his areas of his game? But, he's an unbelievable person. He's a better person than he is a player. And just growing with him and seeing what he's doing now, it makes me so happy to see. And I know he's having fun up there and leading the troops.
Nice. After the 21 season, you hit the transfer portal and you committed to South Alabama. What drew you to the Jaguars? Did offensive coordinator Major Applewhite play a major factor in the decision process? And then what was the difference in the recruitment process as opposed to the portal process?
Yeah, so I can start out with that. So, jumping into, the portal, I understood what I wanted. And the biggest thing out of that was relationships. I wanted to build it was going to be tough in 2 to 3 weeks to build a relationship, but, I was willing to do it however it was or whatever it took to do it. But I felt like, Coach Applewhite did an unbelievable job at, just the relationship process of it, on the phone constantly, always texting, and it was very genuine. That was the biggest thing too. Just talking ball, whether it was that or just life. I think that was one of the biggest things that drew me to South. But also another thing was he played the position. Right. And I feel like, having someone who played at Texas when the lights are bright, going through the ups and downs that he did, I feel like it would really benefit me in coming here because, he's seen a lot of ball. He's been through it. He could, use his wisdom on me.
He's still a young buck, right? He's not that old. You kind of relate to him like, you know what I mean? A young guy, and now he's in a position of power. So I get it.
Oh, yeah. He's still got that fire for sure.
All right. Now, this past season at South Alabama, you played 13 games. You attempted 427 pass attempts. You threw for 3,343 yards and 28 touchdowns, which are all Jaguars records. You seem to look comfortable and in control. Can you talk to us about this past season?
Yeah. And that started off kind of in January, just coming in. Coach Applewhite kind of setting the tempo and, let me know, being very clear on what he thinks of me and what do I need to accomplish in the spring and then going into summer and do the same thing in the season. So I think, what he did and how he helped me really benefited me going throughout the season with preparation and, just that clarity on what he wants during a play call or the situation. So, my hat goes off to him and, everything that he did last year to help me succeed is truly remarkable. And I can't thank him enough.
Nice. I got to ask you, what's the major difference that you've seen between playing between the MAC versus the Sun Belt?
I think the biggest thing is speed. Okay. Guys are so fast down here. The physicality, is just a little bit different. I think guys are just a little bit more hungry down here. But, there's been a great talent that's come out of the MAC, and I think there's great talent coming out of the Sun Belt too. But I think, the Sun Belt is rising. I think you look at, the East and the West of the teams that are rising, and they're definitely getting some, the nation's attention, just how they play and, how physical they are.
Well, you mentioned the talent. I'm going to stir the pot a little bit just because you gave me an easy layup. The Sun Belt Conference got some top-level QBs, including yourself, Grayson McCall, Darren Granger, Davis Brim, Malik Hornsberry, just to name a few. What separates you from the aforementioned QBs?
I think the biggest thing that separates me is one, I think I've been around football a lot. I think I've just seen a lot. But I think another thing is this is it for me. Like I don't have anything outside of football. I don't have anything, rest on my plan. I don't have a business degree. This is it for me. This is all I know. So I'm going to pour my heart and soul into this. And I love what I do. I come in every day. I'm around great people. I think the people around me have put me in a great position to succeed. I think, my arm talent is just one of the things that makes me really good in the Sun Belt. But also, I think mentally, I'm locked into what we need to do every week. I try to make it as simple as possible and just go out and play football.
All right. September 2nd, you start the season at Human Stadium versus Tulane, and then you head back on the road week 3 versus Oklahoma State. That's 2 big road games to test the Jaguars. How are you preparing for the tough schedule?
Just like any other game, Southeast Louisiana is no bigger than Tulane, and it's no bigger than Oklahoma State. So you got to prepare them just like any other game would.
All right. Now, the wide receiver room, you got some faces returning, but you also have some new guys in Javon Ivory and Shamir Sangreen. What are your thoughts on the wide receiver room, and who so far has been kind of like your go-to target?
I think we could definitely say Devin and Colin are my go-to targets because, just based off last year and Jay Wayne leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But Javon Ivory has stepped in and he's done an unbelievable job at being a leader in that room with Devin and Colin, with the young guys that we've gotten in, like, Jalen from Mobile. And then Shamar Sanders, he's caught along unbelievably. He's had an unbelievable summer here. He's competing. That whole room is in competition at finding that number 3, number 4 guy spot. So, and they're going about it the right way. They're diving into the playbook. They're locking arms with each other and creating a strong bond in that wide receiver room.
That makes it a lot easier for you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned Mobile, and I was there last year for the Senior Bowl, which is in your home stadium. Now, what would it mean to you to get that invite and go play in your home stadium in the Senior Bowl this year?
Yeah, that'd be unbelievable. I'm going to leave that up into God's hands, and if he takes me there, then, he keeps me home in Mobile. But, I'm just so excited. I'm so focused on this year. I'm going to, go about it the best way possible and go play Tulane with everything I got and with the 11 guys or 10 guys with me on the offensive side. But, if I get an opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl, then so be it. I'll go at it with everything I got.
Well, I'm just going to ask you now. I'm going to be there again this year. Probably be there for a while. If I'm there and you're there, we got to recircle and bring it back again.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
One last question for you. I know you said this is it for you, but what's one thing that people don't know about Carter Bradley?
One thing. Gosh, that's tough because I feel like all my friends, everybody kind of knows me as, the coach's son. He's been around ball. I love to fish.
Okay.
I got a golden retriever at home. I'm very simple living. I'm a man of faith. I'm very simple. I don't know if, a lot of people don't know that, but I'm a little bit different than everybody probably else. I'm not on social media a whole lot. But yeah, that's about it.
So you said you're not on social media. So do you like to keep to yourself? Do you like the quiet time with such a busy life that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I love, just to kind of calm my mind any way possible. And I think football does that for me. That's why I love the game so much. I think it brings me a lot of peace. But, sometimes it gets a little stirred up in football. And I think getting away and just fishing and, being with my dog is definitely, the second route.
All right. So before I let you go, we're going to talk fishing real quick because you mentioned a few times. You just like normal fishing at a lake, pond, or you like deep sea fishing? What's your favorite?
Anything that stretches the line.
Oh, my man. I love it. All right.
Yeah, but I do a lot of offshore fishing back home in Jacksonville. I do some freshwater fishing if I go back to Minnesota where my dad's from. So anywhere with fishing, I'm going to try.
Now, if things don't work out, going to the next level, Dad's been coaching for a long time. Does that interest you at all?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Anything with some laces on it and the football, being thrown around, I'm definitely there, and I'll do anything to be a part of it.
Always looking for that leather, my man. I love it.
Yeah.
Carter, this has been a great interview. I appreciate you taking time to do it. I'd like to stay in touch with you, maybe in like 6 months, circle back, see how everything's going, see how the season's progressing, and then go from there.
Let's do it.
I appreciate you. Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
You have a good day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you.